Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm very excited that you're here today. Today's video is one of my favorite topics to talk about, and that is elevated basics and how to level up your wardrobe for fall. Recently, I posted a wardrobe basics video here on YouTube, and I asked in that video if you wanted me to do an elevated basics video, and I got a resounding yes. Given that fall is just around the corner, I'm going to give this video a little bit of a fall angle. We're going to look at it under that lens. However, you can easily customize this for your climate. A few things about elevated basics. Elevated does not necessarily mean more expensive. In some cases, maybe. But what I mean by elevated is really taking your wardrobe basic and doing it a little bit different, with a little bit more punch. In most cases, elevating your basics means taking the general concept and adding a twist of some sort, something that makes it different and that will add a lot of variation to your wardrobe and to your looks. I'm also not saying to replace your wardrobe basics. What I'm saying is that this is in addition to, because those basics are your building blocks. And this video for elevated basics are the things that you can add in to add some layers and to add some variety to your wardrobe. I'm not going to go through the entire list of basics. Instead, I'm going to pick and choose, because really that's all it takes to elevate your wardrobe. If you were to elevate every single one of the wardrobe basics on that checklist, it would create a lot of overwhelm. Having these elevated basics really, I think, are all you're going to need in order to zhuzh up your closet. If you do need help with your wardrobe basic, make sure to grab your free wardrobe basics PDF. It's free when you sign up for my newsletter. If you're a seasoned fashionista, you can use that basics checklist whenever you clean out your closet. If you're new or you are trying to build a wardrobe or are rebuilding your wardrobe, then you can always reference that basics checklist anytime you do a closet clear out. Allow me to interrupt this video to introduce myself really quickly. My name is Oralia, and the content that I provide here is all around style and fashion for the plus size woman, more specifically the petite plus size woman. I post content 3 times a week, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss anything here on my channel. All right, let's get back to the video. When you take a button down top, you take that silhouette, you can really elevate it and change it up by changing the fabric type, for instance. You can do something like bringing in a satin or a silk, or maybe a chambray even works in this scenario, where you're taking your classic button down top and you're bringing in something a little bit different by changing up the fabric that you're using for that particular garment. Another way that you can elevate your button-down top is to go with something that's a different style. So what I mean by this is maybe something that has got a different color, or maybe it has a puff sleeve with a cuff. It can be anything that's bringing that silhouette but changing it in a way that makes it very different. Another way that you can elevate your button-down shirt is to maybe bring something in that has got a pattern. It could be a floral, or maybe it's a paisley, or it's maybe a floral and a stripe, something like that, that will really change up the button-down shirt. So it's not just your plain Jane button-down shirt, it's got a little bit more pizzazz to it. This falls in the outerwear category, but under other. I wanted to expand on that a little bit more. It doesn't just have to be a solid colored wool button-down coat. It could be something completely different. Maybe it's a different silhouette. It has a flared out bottom, or it's got a beautiful shawl collar, or it's got a really lovely hood, or maybe it's made of a different fabric like cashmere. It could also be in a color. Maybe you bring in a coat in a beautiful saturated bright, or in a really fun pattern like a Glen plaid or a bold plaid of sorts. So there's a lot of different ways that you can change up your coats. They'll speak more to your personality, and they will really amp up your outerwear wardrobe. Another option for coats is to completely go in a different direction with the silhouette. Say that it's got traditional styling, but it's a vest. It's not a coat. That is a great solution, especially for you ladies that are in a warmer climate. You've got your basic coat, but it's different because it has no sleeves. And so you're really completely changing the silhouette of the garment and bringing that punch into your outerwear wardrobe. I think that that's probably one of the most fun ways to do it outside of going with like a really beautiful pattern. The next garment is the sweater. To me, sweaters can get very boring very, very quickly. And so I like having a lot of different options for sweaters, whether that be a sweater in like color, or you can do some sort of a styling thing where it's got ruffles on it, or maybe it has really beautiful puff sleeve, or maybe it's got a really interesting neckline. Instead of going for a V, it's got a really beautiful squared off neckline, or it's a cropped sweater. Anything like that. Also, sweaters that have got some kind of texture on them. Maybe they're Angora, or perhaps they have little nubbies on them. I don't know what they're called, but you know, the little nubbies that sweaters come with. They're actually kind of big. But anything that has kind of like a really interesting texture. Maybe it has pearls sewn in, or it's a metallic of some sort. It's got some metallic threading through it. Anything like that that's really going to change the look of the sweater is going to work. The next garment piece is a skirt. I think that with skirts, you can do a lot. You can either bring in a skirt of a different kind of fabric, like a satin or silk, a chiffon, or maybe even a metallic. That's a great way of elevating your skirt game. It could be pleated. You can bring in a skirt that has got a pattern in it. That's another way of up-leveling your skirt game. One of my favorite ways of elevating my skirts are to bring in skirts of like a leather or a faux leather, or maybe even an embossed leather. I think that that is such a cool way, and especially during the fall and winter, those are really, really fun things to bring into your skirt wardrobe. They add just a really cool vibe to your look, and it's an easy way of elevating your skirt game. And by the way, you can also do that particular tip with pants. If skirts aren't your thing and you want to do pants, bring in a faux leather pant, you know, and maybe bring it in a really cool color, or maybe a different finish, or maybe you want to do like a polished cotton. There are a lot of ways that you can take this tip and apply it to your pants as well, because a leather pant is almost a wardrobe must, just like, you know, having a trouser. And they're fantastic in the fall. You don't have to stay with just your plain t-shirt. They can get pretty boring very quickly. You can always go for something that is slightly different, in that maybe it has got a puff sleeve, a little bit of gathering here up at the top of the sleeve, or maybe it has got an eyelet inlay somewhere. Possibly maybe it's made of cashmere or merino wool or a silk of some sort, or maybe even a silk blend. Anything like that can take your basic t-shirt and it will elevate it into something much, much more cool and a lot more fun to wear and to play with. Really, you can do any of the basics on the basics checklist simply by finding pieces that are in a different cut, a different fabric, maybe a color or a pattern. You just want to look for details that are different than the status quo and incorporate these into your existing basics wardrobe to expand your wardrobe exponentially. And that way you can have a lot of fun with your wardrobe. Like I said earlier in the video, this is step 2. Once you've gotten a nice solid set of wardrobe basics, then you move on to bringing in those elevated basics that are going to add so much more variety to your wardrobe and will really, really elevate it and amp it up. And make it a lot of fun to get dressed. And essentially, you're going to have that wardrobe that's working for you, not against you. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful or entertaining. It really, really helps my channel out. I am making a huge push to 10K by the end of the year, and your thumbs up and likes are always very, very helpful in helping me to achieve that goal. Also, share with your friends if they are interested in plus size or petite plus size fashion. If you're not subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell before you head out so that you don't miss any of my content. And don't forget to grab your wardrobe basics freebie. The link is in the description bar below. Thank you as always for spending a few minutes of your day with me. I truly appreciate it. Remember to live your life filled with confidence, grace, and style. I will see you in my next upload. Bye.